This video today is about why I had a brain hemorrhage. I had an arterial venous malformation and blood clots in my brain, and together they caused a massive brain bleed. I was driving down Highway 69 with my two kids in the car, and we pulled over at a rest stop known for its delicious fudge and to use the restroom, but it was closed. And so, as any self-respecting Northern Ontario mother would, I took my kids to the bush. When we returned to the car, I had a sudden wicked headache, but I was fortunate enough to wave down a good Samaritan before I went unconscious. I was in a coma and on life support, and I needed emergency brain surgery. The neurosurgeon removed a piece of my skull called the bone flap, so he could remove the AVM and the blood and reduce the swelling in the brain. A brain arterial venous malformation, or an AVM, is a tangle of abnormal blood vessels connecting arteries and veins in the brain. And those arteries are responsible for carrying blood from the heart to the brain. The rupture affected part of my brain known as the left angular gyrus, and it is responsible or involved in a number of processing related to language, number retrieval, memory retrieval, and a number of different processes.
So one thing that I did yesterday was the Montreal cognitive assessment tool, which is kind of like a tool that assesses like people who've had brain injuries or other brain disorders. And so I had to do like a number of tasks, such as like draw a clock. One of them was identify some animals and like name them and kind of describe them. Another one was say the letter like F, and then I had to write as many words that I could like think of that started with the letter F. And this was the most frustrating day ever. So I couldn't draw a clock. I couldn't figure it out. I was confused. Instead of putting like 1, 2, 3, I put like the days of the week as well. Just the most infuriating day. And I had to make it to like 12:40. I just like could not do this stupid clock. And then the next thing I had to do was these animals. So 3 pictures of animals, and I had to like identify them and name them. And like, of course, I can't do the animals anywhere. There was like this zebra or this like llama, this like I don't know, just like the circle of life. Like it's like this weird game that I was playing. It was like, okay, it's like not a Canadian animal. It's like in like a hot desert climate. It's a circle of life. But I'm playing it all by myself. Okay, so that's what my cognitive assessment fail test was.
For the next 5 weeks in hospital, I wore a bicycle helmet to keep my brain safe. And at the next brain surgery to replace the bone flap, I remember my neurosurgeon pointing to a large freezer, and he told me that this is where he kept mine and everybody else's pieces of bone. And then he made a joke and hoped that he would choose the right one for my surgery that day. So I give him a C for his dad joke. I also give him a D- for my haircut, but I give him a A++ for 2 fantastic life-saving brain surgeries. That's the end of this video about my brain hemorrhage. And if you're wondering, we did stop for fudge on our way home 6 weeks later.